Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the MMOs.com podcast. We're on episode 9, and this is Altay once again, joined by...
Omer.
And Sean.
And Shu.
Excellent. There we are.
We got that down. I'm
going to say that correctly this time, but does Shu always say Shu or does he say Shrelia sometimes?
No,
It usually says Shirley.
Just couldn't get it perfect.
I know.
One of these days.
All right, well...
Just
so,
keep it interesting.
all right, so what's on the plate this week, guys? For me, the one I'm looking forward to is... Actually, I thought this game was going to be in beta, but it's only a stress test. SkyForge.
Yeah, it's the open beta is set to begin on July 16th, but you might have mistaken because the Cabal 2 went open beta pretty recently too. But the game's stress test was on July is basically today of this podcast.
Yeah,
So
I was playing it earlier.
Oh, so it's open still. Like anyone can log in?
It's open for 24 hours from 9 p.m. PDT this morning.
Well, I need some Western time up in here.
Isn't PDT Western? I hate time zones. Let's
Yeah,
throw that there right now.
PDT, it was PD, it's Western.
All right, PDT is Western. All right.
If you live in the West, shouldn't you know your time zone?
We should have a global time zone, all right?
Oh, that's
All
an
the time
article.
at the same time.
I read a good
EST,
article on
Earth
that. There
Standard
should be,
Time.
no, there should be 2 time zones in America only or something.
Oh, anyway, SkyForge.
So what it's like? What's it like? You've tried it?
It's pretty smooth. It's like taking ancient Rome and making them science fiction gods, and you're running around. It kind of has this hub-based feel to it, where you start in the main city and you go around the world and you kill stuff. The animations are nice and smooth. I think it has a lot of potential.
Is it an actual sci-fi? Is it more fantasy or more sci-fi?
See, that's the thing, is it's not. It's just a science fiction backdrop with a fantasy story. So you basically work with the gods. So it's like this weird melange of the
Basically,
two.
it's Melange online.
Melange. Hold on, I'm not letting Melange go.
Melange gel.
Melange is a mixture. It was also in the book Dune.
I feel like you just really want to use that word melange.
I use it a lot. If you ever read.
Okay.
You guys want to know how I know what that word means? Like a mixture from Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
The Melange gel heals your mana and HP.
It's called TP, bro.
Whatever.
Get good. Technical points. Get it right.
Good word.
Yeah. So anyway, this game it's basically Allods Online 2. For you guys who know what Allods is and not what this is.
Is there a forge in this guy? Like a giant anvil that you just craft things out of? No,
I don't know what the hell Forge refers to.
Guys, we just talked about this in the last podcast, and it was exactly the same. It was like, it's a forge in the sky. Just imagine like
SkyForge.
All right.
Yeah, we did. We actually did. We said it went the exact same way too.
I just realized the symbol for the game is an anvil.
I listened to them. I listen to all the past podcasts while I'm working.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
True fan.
So that's where our views are coming from.
All right, and finally, guys, SkyForge it's finally going into open beta. I guess they ran out of those founder packs to sell. They monetized that enough.
Well, you can still buy one. So if you want to support the cause, reserve your name.
I want to transition this discussion to these founder packs because a lot of games now, like that are in beta, they're in alpha. Like this game went through like 4 rounds of closed beta testing, right? And every single round, it wasn't like they gave away keys like easily. Okay, in order to get a key, you pretty much had to buy the game. And when you bought the game, you had like 2 free invites. So a lot of people that played in the closed beta ended up paying for that privilege.
Nice.
I mean, LB Online is doing it right now too. The game has gone through numerous rounds of beta testing, and I wrote an article about it. We got a lot of drama on Reddit. I think over 100 upvotes on our MMORPG, which is a lot for Reddit MMORPG. But basically, the game calls itself an alpha, right? Mm-hmm. And they're selling. You need to pay like $60 to like access the game. And like you think a game in alpha is like they're still working on the game, they're developing the game, right? But they're buying ads all over the internet to advertise their founders pack. They're literally pumping tens of thousands of dollars into advertising just to get like more founder pack sales for a game that's supposed to be free to play.
Didn't you know that testing a game is a privilege? Well, I remember when Conan, or maybe it was the Warhammer game, came out, and all you had to do was send in an email, and if you played WoW prior, you got a free beta key to test the game.
And I remember playing WoW for free. The 2 days before it launched in the open beta.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the days. But I mean, it's not so bad. It's kind of like like when a game first comes up for like $60 and eventually goes down in price. So think of it that way. Early access is the new retail, and then release is like the new
free to play
bargain bin. Yeah, like $1. It's free to play, whatever.
I have a fundamental issue with it.
The bargain bin analogy, before we go to that issue, is the bargain bin is for stuff that no one wants anymore. You would think a game that's fully released, everyone wants it.
No. There's so many games coming out now that the average game, after it's released, the interest wanes instantly.
Yeah, they burn out.
Exactly.
They burn out very quickly. That's the thing with a lot of MMORPGs too.
Got an article on that one coming out soon.
Yeah.
You know, be a good article. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it seems pretty dangerous. Like where the direction that's heading, it almost seems that they're incentivized. Like it's like we talked about last time. It's like they just make the game and they just dump it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you already sold, you know, what you needed to sell, what you expected to sell, and it almost seems like the upkeep is like not worth it for them. You know, they'd rather just hop to another project, so then they just completely ignore.
I mean, the game is going to have a cash shop too, so they're going to make money that way. It bothers me that like a game that's supposed to be free to play, we have to pay to test that game now. It used to be that retail games that cost money, you test it for free, and they help the developers make fix bugs and crap, and then it costs money on release. Now it's the opposite. The game costs money in beta, and it's free to play on release. It's weird.
I think I remember seeing another game actually recently. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what game it was, but they had different founders packs, and the more expensive your founders packs, the earlier you could play the game.
Yes,
like,
a lot of games do
phases. Yeah, and it's. I mean, I see what you mean. Maybe everyone they're trying to make some money off of the people that want to be catered to. I'm sorry, online, freaking beta test the game. Be like badass when the game comes out, right? The game comes out like, oh, I already know how to do all this stuff because I was a beta tester. Call me a beater, right? Like it's like
beta testers now is you just paid for it. But I posted this article on Reddit, and one of the funny comments were like why do we have to pay to beta test games? That was the name of the article, and one of the comments was like, because MMO players are like crack addicts looking for their next fix. They'll play whatever they can to get to the next one.
It's
like
true.
Cooker.
It is true.
I have a theory about that.
Go
the
ahead.
new game is the hype. So from announcement to release, that's the game. After release, that's like the game shutting down basically. No one cares anymore. So the new game is the hype train. So people just ride one game until release, and then they jump to the next announced game. So the game itself is like the afterthought now.
It's a part of the experience. You look forward to the game coming out, and you're downloading it, and as soon as you launch the game, within 5 minutes, I'm done. I'll done.
The maestro of this is Star Citizen. They've been weaving a tale for years now about like how this game is going to be amazing, VR, multiplayer, single player campaign. Yeah, and they raised $85 million so far. They're still raising money, and honestly, at this point, they know when this game comes out, that's the end of the train. Like that's whether it's a good game or bad, the hype is dead.
I actually think you're right.
Yeah. So the game, we're playing the game right now. Star Citizen is happening right now, guys.
The game is live, right?
Yeah.
You didn't know it.
It's like an alternative reality experience. Like one of those. Like
the development process is the game.
Exactly.
The development drama is the.
Exactly.
I like that theory.
Yeah.
You should write an article on that in MMOs, because I think that's actually true.
I think so.
That's sad. That's sad for the whole industry.
Well, they're catering to our needs. I mean, that's what people want. They'd rather just tweet about how great this next game is going to be rather than play it. Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along from
right.
SkyForge, we have World of Warships just actually entered open beta on July 3rd, I believe.
So
that sounds right.
This World of Warships.
Check the review.
Yeah, it's the ship version of their World of Tanks. And it's interesting that Wargaming decided to go this route. So basically, they started with a tank game, then they made a separate game for fighter planes, and a separate game for warships, right? So it's 3 games that look to kind of play, I guess, similarly.
No.
No.
They're realistic, aren't they? All 3 games?
No, they're not realistic at all. They're arcade. They're arcade military combat games. Tanks don't move that fast.
Well, I mean, yeah. But what do you think of their decision to split the game in 3, where their competitor, War Thunder, right, kept them all in one?
Yeah, but so it's an illusion, right? So even though War Thunder has it all in one, it's still 3 separate games in one. Because when you switch between modes, it's not like you're all in one universe.
I see.
Say you're playing War Thunder's version of World of Tanks. Mm-hmm. There's planes in that match, but the players in the planes
Can't
were
interact.
previously in a tank. They're not playing the plane version of War Thunder. It's still 3 separate games.
Oh, really?
It's just this illusion. It's just
Oh.
all one client.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's pretty nice, right?
I mean, it's a neater, tighter package.
Right.
And I guess down the line, I guess they could do that. Just make one client you launch the games from. But I mean, the thing that screws it up for them though is like World of Warplanes is completely dead.
Is it?
Whereas,
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's pretty empty. It's been empty.
that was my first grumble because there was no. When I went into a match, it was 3v3. It's boring. Whereas War Thunder, you get like 20 players in a match.
Ah.
But right now, World of Warships, the
grabbing
DVMC
it
fire is
right now.
awesome. I liked it a lot. So if you have any interest in it, I highly recommend it.
I'm going to ask for a score between 3.47 and 3.89. All right? We're just
what?
in that scale. Where are we?
For World of Warships,
Yeah, 3.49 and 3.86. I need to hear in that scale.
it's a great.
It's a great. Would that be a good game for Sunday Funday? It seems like
No,
no. Okay.
It's not. It's a little compared to the other games. It's a little too slow.
I see.
So I don't think it'd be fun to watch. Like say like War Thunder is more. It's more exhilarating. World of Warships is like a slow satisfaction. It's like taking your time to plan something out to get the right hit and not get killed. So
In a way, that's like World of Tanks too. It's not an action-packed game. It's it takes things pretty slowly and strategically.
I thought compared to War Thunder's version, it was a lot faster. War Thunder's tank version, you're like sitting in the trees and.
I was gonna say, World of Tanks seemed pretty. I mean, it was obviously a little slower than your average shooter, but it still seemed pretty quick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along, some numbers. Final Fantasy 14 reaches 5 million subscribers. That was like the headline I read, but that's a little bit deceiving.
Yeah,
It's not
total.
5 million. Yeah, that's total subscribers they've ever had. It doesn't count concurrent subscribers. So, and their concurrent subscribers is around 1 million right now, which is actually pretty high because after World of Warcraft, this should be number 2.
That's kind of that's a big difference though between 5 and 1.
Yeah, 5 is there with all the players that have ever signed up for the game,
I see.
and that doesn't include free trial. So that's a pretty big number. And even 1 million people paying every month is pretty good. The game has had slow and steady growth since its relaunch as Realm Reborn. Shu, have you played the original Final Fantasy 14 before the Realm Reborn?
No, but I have a lot of friends who did, and they said it was super crap.
Yeah, I heard it was hella dookie.
Yeah, like it was like unplayable pretty much from what I've heard.
That's the only game I've seen where the developer just like apologized, like, okay, we realize our game is literally the worst. Everyone can play for free until we relaunch this shit, right? That's the only game I've seen that happen.
I read some of like the retrospective on it, and like apparently like the current producer guy was like, he was like, the people who made the game, like we didn't even understand like our audience pretty much. They just did whatever the fuck. And that's why the game sucks so bad, is because like they didn't, like the people on the team didn't really play MMOs. You know, that you're talking like a console company. I mean, if you play Final Fantasy 11, it's kind of like that too, right? It's like
it has a very constantly feel.
yeah. But what they tried to do is they tried to go like in between, like because it still has a console feel, Final Fantasy 11, right? And apparently they tried to go in between the new one, and it was just like so like, it was like so wishy-washy, you know, where it was trying to go.
Yeah.
That it just sucked, pretty much.
And despite the Final Fantasy 11 being very console-y, I think even today, up till now, Final Fantasy 11 has been the most profitable game for Square Enix ever.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, because it's maintained a player base, right, since its original launch how many years ago, paying monthly. You know, I'm sure Final Fantasy 14 will outdo it, but it's got years to go before it catches up.
I never got into FF11. I had a lot of friends in high school who were into it.
I couldn't get over the
played it.
constantly feel.
Yeah.
So I played it for like a little bit, and I just couldn't handle it, man. I just couldn't. It was just like the gameplay was so I don't know how to explain it. It's like
It's pretty highly regarded, first of all, before we bash. I mean, it's considered a pretty good game.
Yeah, like on the flip side, so me, like I couldn't stand it, right? But my mom played that game like legit hardcore for like a long time. Like it got to the point where like she would like not sleep. Like she would like come home from work, she would play, she would not sleep, and then go to work again the next day and sleep when she gets back. Like it was like that kind of game. Like I would wake up and I would see her play and I'd be like, "Don't you have work?" And she's like, "Yeah," and then she would go to work.
On that note, some question about MMO hardcoreness. Okay, has anybody here actually peed in a cup?
Yeah. Well, not a cup.
I know Aaron has. That's why.
Whoa. Not a cup, but a gallon thing of water, empty one.
I know, and then you had that like on your desk so that you would brag to people.
Under my desk. I'm not a barbarian.
That's pretty impressive. I don't think I've ever peed.
Logistics for that for me is a little bit harder. So.
Yeah, for the girls, that's not so easy. It requires more.
I just like I became so efficient at peeing. You know, I can pee really fast. Like I can in between a death and like in like hots, I could just go pee. And come back,
Sure.
Like,
could you pee while still healing your raid? That was me. One hand on the jug, one hand on the mouse, clicking the hotkeys.
Sometimes when you just gotta pee.
No, that's probably why I have bladder issues now, because I just held it. I held it like a champ, and now I need to go to a doctor, so don't do that. Use a jug.
I felt elitist when everyone else was like BRB bio. I'm like plebs.
Don't they realize that you can use a drug?
You don't even do that. You just take your character, you hit the insert button, and you like walk into a wall, so your character just keeps running into the wall, and then you go pee, and then you come back, and you're like, "What happened, guys? I have no idea." Right?
Guys, I was lagging.
That's why I wiped in Molten Core so much.
It's not insert shoe, it's numlock. It's always numlock.
Oh, is it numlock?
In every game, it's numlock. I'm not sure why. That became the key.
What was insert? Insert. That's sit. Is that sit in Reinhardt?
Insert sounds right too. It depends, I guess, on the keyboard.
Insert was actually the key that was required to activate the hack I had in Counter-Strike, like 1.6. But my keyboard didn't have an insert key, so I couldn't activate the hack.
A tragedy.
And then I got banned. That was a long time ago.
Deserved.
Whoa.
I've only ever hacked like once in Counter-Strike, and it's just for the experience.
Well, why don't we talk about that? Have you guys hacked before? Like, what's like?
Yes.
Hack MapleStory. Hell yeah.
Apparently botting is in now. Not really hacking so much.
I mean,
Botting.
I actually had a friend who botted in HOTS. He would just join games for the quests and just I guess feed, and he got banned.
I actually hacked
Sad story.
Warcraft when I played.
Yeah.
But it was for different reasons though. It wasn't necessarily to get like an edge on people. It was more I was like such an asshole that I like wanted to find people in PvP faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the world, so I could kill them. So I used like a radar, like those radar programs that you can see people on the map. But it was because I had such a hard time finding people because like I just wanted to get to the point, you know what I mean, and like find people to gank. So I did that in vanilla.
All right. Another bit of news. Pretty big news actually that I want to touch up on. Ask you guys for your opinions. Nintendo's mobile games. Well, apparently, first of all, you guys know Nintendo is entering mobile games. Finally, we discussed this, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've disclosed their business model. They're going to go for a free-to-start approach, not a free-to-play approach. Meaning, likely the game will be free to play. Like it'll be a free trial version, and to unlock the full game, you have to pay. So it's not the free-to-play version that we're used to on a lot of free-to-play games on the PC, as well as a lot of just regular mobile games are free-to-play now. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
Isn't that
Nintendo's
just
always
called a free trial?
Yeah, but Nintendo's always been a premium company. They always charge high for their games and their hardware and stuff. So I'm not surprised. Like, if you look at old like Mario Party or Mario Kart games, even the ones from like 4 or 5 years ago are like $40. You know.
I'm still used to the free to play model on mobile too, especially. If you ever like just on your phone looking around at what games to play, like. When you go to the games list on the App Store, it's like there's so many free-to-play games now. Like that, I feel like when like the App Store first launched, there was a lot of games like, they were free trial. You bought the light version, and now the pay version costs a flat amount. But now almost every game monetizes with the cash shop.
Okay, but Nintendo has the brand name out there. People aren't going.
I agree. They have the brand name.
When I download like Cut the Rope, I'm not like going, gee, I really want to see what Cut the Rope's up to. I'm just browsing, and if I see it and it looks cute, I'll click it. But with Nintendo, I'm going to go out of my way to find that latest Mario game, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's a big enough audience willing to just pay, without they won't. Nintendo games won't be discovered. Fans will go seek them.
That's true.
They'll get away with it, I think.
But I feel like the accessibility is like. Do a lot of people want to pay for mobile games? Like,
well, what's Nintendo banking on? It's not you or me. It's the kids with their parents. It's the King's Isle entertainment strategy.
Yeah, they have a subscription though. These will be
you can buy the content outright in those games.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Have it unlocked forever.
Yeah, they have a double.
I think it's a similar enough business model where you let someone play a certain amount that you get them hooked, and then they want to buy the game, and the kids scream, and they get their parents' credit card, and there you go.
They specifically said they're not going to target whales.
Well, in a way, that's good. Nintendo doesn't want to be in the addiction business, you know.
I agree. It makes sense.
A lot of these games today, they just go after addiction, like those strategy games. They're just banking on a few percent of people getting frustrated when they lose.
Like, I mean, a few fraction of a percent.
Right, whatever. And then they're just banking on them getting frustrated and spending thousands, you know.
That's true.
Nintendo would rather spread like $5, $10, $20 among their entire player base for a game, which is fine.
It makes sense. I just feel like right now, I think free to play is a bad name right now. Free to play becomes pay to win. That's like what most people think when they think of a cash shop. But why can't you have a model where it's free to play, but then they sell cosmetics or minor enhancements to the game that aren't game breaking?
Well,
Dota's happening a lot though.
Dota does that.
Yeah, I mean MOBAs have that figured out. I agree.
Yeah,
MOBAs have it figured out. But what about everything else? Why can't? I think it's gotten to a point where like I feel a little entitled. Okay, I feel like free to play games have made me entitled because a few days ago somebody recommended I play this horror game and I found it on Steam. Right, it was called Outlast. And like, what? I got money for this? Games cost money now? What is this?
Yeah. But that's a single player, right? Those horror games.
But so was Spooky's House of Jump Scares. So was
that was like an indie one-man thing, though, right?
Prior
Fear.
Yeah.
Very highly regarded games are often free to play now. I don't know. I feel like it's not good that it's made me entitled, but they should make money. $20 is a reasonable fee to play a game. But I just feel like, especially mobile, I'm just used to free.
Oh, that's a good question. Has anyone here paid for a mobile app, let alone game? I haven't.
I have never. No, I've never.
Any mobile app?
No.
I've paid for a mobile app. Yeah.
Which one?
Apps I have. The sleep. What is it called? Oh my god, on my phone. It's called. I actually used it to wake up just now. Sleep Cycle. That's the only one I paid for. It's like it wakes you up during like a certain phase of your sleep, so you don't feel like shit, pretty much.
But how does it know what phase you're in?
You put the phone on your bed. On top of your bed, it like monitors like how much movement you have.
This sounds like voodoo to me.
I was about to say. Some clever guy.
It works.
It works? Okay.
Clever guy he's like, I gotta make some money, all right? And he's just staring at his phone. There's an alarm clock app. He's like, I got it. I'm gonna take that alarm clock app, put some bullshit skin on it, and say it wakes you up in special times, and boom.
Well, she says it works.
It has stats and stuff, so like it pretty much
randomly generated
the time.
for all we know.
It actually is different because like some days I sleep really shitty and I have like really bad stats, but it's pretty much like you set a time and it wakes you up within 30 minutes, like before, like up to any time between 30 minutes before.
Interesting.
And yeah, because the way people sleep is you sleep in cycles, right? We have like deep sleep and then you have light sleep. That's why sometimes like if someone wakes you up, you just feel like total shit, like you can't even move and stuff. That's like when they wake you up during deep sleep. But sometimes, you just kind of wake up, you're like, oh, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
That's when you're at the lighter end of sleep, and that's how it works pretty much. Is it monitors when you're in that sweet spot and wakes you up.
Let's just say I remain skeptical.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty good. It's like $1. It's like $1.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I recommend it.
You know, I actually wanted to buy a Fitbit just for that. Like, I'm not going to start jogging or anything, but the Fitbit, they say it
Heavens, we can't jog.
It monitors like your sleep cycle, and then there's a little bar, and then the red part is like when you're not sleeping like at night. Because sometimes I wake up at night and I remember me like going back to sleep back and forth. So a Fitbit could help, but I don't want to wear a band.
It's going to tell you have problems. How is it going to actually help? It's to be like, all right, your sleep sucked, but like you don't need a Fitbit to tell you that. You wake up feeling shitty, you know.
I guess, but I don't know. It's
you
always
wake
good
up all groggy. You look at your Fitbit. You got a shitty sleep.
If you can't measure it, you can't fix it. There you go.
All right, Sean, your turn.
About
What?
Did you
What's
pay
my
for an
turn?
app?
No, I never paid
No, I
for
can
that.
see. Yeah. All right.
Hell no.
So
No.
So the
What
mobile
do you think I am?
ecosystem got $1 out of us 4. All right, good to know. But somehow it's a multi-trillion-dollar business now. All right.
Because of Clash of Clans. I'm looking at Sean's Skype avatar. It says that Winrar is you. Has anybody paid for Winrar?
I have
No,
not.
but I'm always tempted every time I use it now. It's been years.
You still use
I feel
Winrar?
like I owe them something.
Do you still use Winrar?
Rarely.
All right,
I just
public-
I
I
always,
always now.
I always have it installed just for nostalgia.
Oh wow.
Shoot, what is your extracting tool of choice?
I use WinRAR. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
have
You should
did
upgrade
pay
to
for it?
7-zip.
Shoot, your free trial expired. Did you pay for it?
I just keep. It just still has the evaluation copy for me.
Keep clicking cancel.
I paid for MIRC though. I did pay for that.
I haven't used internet relay chat since the 90s.
Yeah, right.
Oh, what the hell?
Someone's getting called.
It's the phone. It's
Yeah,
the
sorry
sleep
about
cycle.
That's your
Time to wake
phone
up.
app telling you that you got bad sleep.
Oh no, it was my app telling me to wake up in 2 hours in case I didn't wake up, so that I could. Yeah, so I could do the podcast.
All right, moving right along. We got a little distracted from Nintendo.
Well, I got a cool piece of news. There's this game called Marvel Heroes, right? It's an action RPG, kind of like Diablo, Path of Exile, and it's got an interesting way of a promotional event going on. Starting tomorrow, July 8th, there's going to be a very, very small chance that when you kill stuff, like mobs, there's a small chance to drop a ticket that is worth $5,000, so cash.
Ooh.
There'll be 5 of these total. It's called the Vibranium ticket. So I think this is a pretty cool promotion. It's going to encourage everyone to go on and grind. Just try to get.
Why haven't other people done this?
This
I
is
don't
a
know.
genius idea. I like it a lot.
I'm tempted to play right now.
Guys, it's all done on Marvel Heroes. I want that money.
This is you know what's
It's with
happened
the
though.
odds though.
People are going to multi-box and bought this. Like one guy's gonna have 50 of these screens open, and just killing the beginner monsters. You know?
It's just like people buy multiple lottery tickets.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they just announced this like recently. This news, and this event begins tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And there's not much like, if they announced it like a month ago and like it was gonna happen a month later, people would prepare for it by setting up bots, you know. But because it's so sudden, I don't think botting will be that big.
Well, I
of an
mean, I
issue.
never played this game, and I like action RPGs. It's probably one of my favorite genres. So maybe I'll play this. It's an excuse to try the game.
But this reminds me of another interesting issue. I feel like a lot of these free to play games have become like almost like gambling mechanisms. First of
Go
all,
on.
everyone knows about the lock boxes, like the dreaded lock boxes. People just gambling with those. But what's more amazing, I think, is what's happened through the Steam platform. People bet on Dota matches, Counter-Strike matches using their items. But the biggest craze now is like those websites where you put up like these rare items. Everyone puts up rare items and one guy wins. You know, like those. I forget what they're called, but there's videos on YouTube of people betting like $10,000.
I don't know.
But basically,
Wait, wait,
Shoot, do you know what you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about like Counter-Strike type of stuff, where you
Yeah,
put,
in Counter-Strike, there's a website, right? People put up like 10 items into the pool, right? And
Oh yeah, I know.
the value of those items shows up on the pool, and then anybody else can throw up items to the pool for a chance to win everything in the pool. And
Your
your odds of
odds
winning
are based
are based on
yeah.
what you've contributed, right? And these pools get up to like $15,000.
Yeah,
There are videos of people betting like $10,000 on there and crap. And one guy won like he put $1,000 in and he won like 15,000. It was crazy, but.
Yeah, I've seen this.
And these are growing. I feel like people just want to gamble. Is what I'm learning from these free-to-play games.
Hey man, there's CSGO Lounge. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I use to get my knife, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same. It's kind of the same thing, right? Like there's professional matches. You place like your weapons that are worth real world money, right? You
Yeah.
place them in there, and you bet against everyone else, and the odds are calculated based on like
The bets.
how much money there is on each side, right? And then you just get your money worth in skins as it pays you out.
But I like the Marvel Hero strategy because like a lot of these giveaways I think they're really lame. You like enter on their official website and that's it. You know, there's like no gameplay required. You know, here you actually have to play the game to have a chance to win the $25,000. I think that's a big innovation amongst these giveaways. Because I don't want to enter a stupid form and have a chance to win. Okay, like I want to play the game and have a chance to win that way.
Yeah, that's true. But I wonder what the legal ease is going to be. Like, can you enter by just like going to our website?
I hope not, because that's going to ruin the whole point. No, you can't, because you have to pick up the item in the game to win. I think it's an awesome idea.
So back to that skin thing that my brother was talking about. If you guys haven't seen it yet, like here's one. There's actually a script for this, and there's a lot of websites. But the way it works is you throw skins into the pot, and the pot is and the dollar value is based on the skin's price in the market, and then one random person wins, and but your chance of winning is based on the money you put in. So it's pretty cool just to watch it like build up.
Yeah, people play like pretty high stakes, free to play jackpots in these games.
Yeah,
that is pretty neat. Didn't load, but I'm tempted to watch it now.
It didn't load.
Sean, I'll link you a couple of videos. People bet like tens of thousands. It's crazy.
It's so cool. I'm waiting for some Vegas casino to open up esports betting.
That would be awesome. Like,
it'll probably happen eventually. It's inevitable. How could they not?
But I think it's gonna be a while. Like to have like a mainstream physical location. It could happen online. I think. I would love to like play some league, make some money in the casinos.
Actually, here's some gaming news. Right, we're a gaming podcast, and we live in Las Vegas. So the big slot machine companies were lobbying Nevada, the state of Nevada, to make slot machines where your payout is based on skill, not just luck. So right now it's just luck. You're not allowed to have skill slot machines. But Nevada recently changed the rule, so now it's allowed. So they're going to eventually make slot machines where players' skill is involved in how much you win, your chance of winning. So
are you playing against other people or like a computer?
No, the computer. Like how well you think of it like an arcade machine, like a game, right? Like Pac-Man is skill, right? It's not luck. So until now, slot machines have been only luck.
Interesting.
Konami is already all over this shit.
Yep. Konami's huge here.
Yeah, I'm guessing like how much do you think that has to do with the whole fact that they canceled everything? They're like, fuck that, we're going to Vegas.
Slot machines are where the money's at, yo.
Oh yeah, Konami's having a lot of trouble. They basically said they want to be mobile first in their video game system, and then they have a huge gambling division too. It's probably still doing well.
It's making shit tons of money for them, pretty much.
That's why they're not going to waste their money making another Metal Gear game like with Kojima.
No, they're done with that guy.
They're done with that. They're discarding him.
They wouldn't even let Guillermo del Toro make a video game, and that guy's been trying to make a game for years. Canceled his Silent Hill project. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, Konami's retarded, I think.
They don't.
It's taking forever.
They're not retarded. They like to make money.
Yeah, you can't blame them.
They like to make money a lot.
Here's some Konami right here.
Let's see.
This is the slowest loading picture I've ever seen.
This is the slowest loading picture. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh wow!
That's so
is this in Vegas? We gotta look out for this. I want to play the Contra slot machine.
This is probably a convention.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. It looks like a convention. You're right.
I don't care about Contra. I want to play that Tiger Woman.
Oh maybe.
Oh, and those are the slots they have now. They're useless. I hate those slots.
There's like these no-name brand slot machines you see all the time, like Tiger Woman, for example.
Lady Peony.
Let's hit up some EVE Online news, Sean. Bring us up to speed on the Aegis patch.
There's a new patch on the
It's called Aegis.
It's called Aegis.
There we go.
There's a new ship that looks like a stingray.
It transforms. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I did. Yeah, the animation is
transforming
really cool.
Technology.
But the real bit of news, or rather, I wanted to talk about EVE, so I guess this bit of news is a good way to do it. And a little bit of discussion about, where you think MMORPGs should take a stance on this issue. For example, scamming. Because in a lot of games, if you rip somebody off, like you say, you give me some gold, I'll do something for you, and you just don't, or you rip them off some other way, you can get banned for it. In EVE Online, that's perfectly okay. It's considered part of the game, lying and deceit.
Yep.
So where do you guys, should that be a part of the game, or should that be bannable?
It depends on the game, but I would like to see more games that do allow it. I think that it adds to the immersion of the world, and it makes sense in certain contexts, like Ultima Online. Like games that want to be brutal, yeah, it should be allowed. Maybe not in Pirate 101, but
oh, well, that's a good point. Like, you can't have it in a kids game, but everything else, I say you gotta let it be.
Let
Especially
it be.
games like that rely heavily on their economy, where the economy is player driven, like a game like EVE Online. I mean, yeah, let it all free reign.
Well,
Actually, goes.
I think it's more to do with the companies than the game. For example, Blizzard is like a S&P traded company. You know, like it's a public company. They can't allow scamming and harassment and stuff because then they would it's too, you know, what's the term here?
They look bad for their shareholders.
Everything is just bland. You know, everything has to be bland as possible for the corporate overlords. You know,
You can't say Blizzard's a bland company. Look at Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch.
What?
They're doing a lot of stuff.
You can't even talk to the other people in Heroes games. Heroes of the Storm.
Let's keep it cerebral and not worry about how reality is. All right.
What are you talking about? No, I'm sticking with it. I mean,
I get why they can't do it, but I mean, in World of Warcraft and Blizzard games are it's a different audience. Blizzard's geared towards everyone.
Well, now they are, but they weren't when they started. They were pretty hardcore. Like
That's true.
The original StarCraft, Diablo 2.
StarCraft, yeah.
You know.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I think as they get bigger, just the reality changes for these companies. Like imagine somehow Eve got magically got 10 million subscribers, right? They would probably just get rid of 90% of their freedom that they're.
It also wouldn't be EVE Online anymore.
Well, exactly. Just like Blizzard, I don't think it's Blizzard anymore. No.
Also, I personally like the whole anything goes mentality, and there's some free to play games that are okay with it too. Namely, ArcheAge. They specifically say, you know, like skullduggery is allowed. That's a good word, by the way, skullduggery.
Skullduggery?
It's like you're allowed to like cheat and rip off people as a part of the MMORPG experience, I think. And honestly, both my brother and I, we got ripped off in Ultima Online when we first started playing. We were 12. We were like 11 years old. We saved up all this money. Okay, we had like 15,000 gold, which is a lot of money back then in that game. We grinded. We killed all the. We would kill deer, right? We'd skin the deer, and we'd sell the leather, and we really just hardcore grinded. And then when we saved up like 15,000 gold, in order to buy a house in that game, the smallest house cost like 40,000 gold, and you'd buy it from the NPC. But there was this guy in town. He's like, "Yo, I can hook you guys up with a house for only 15,000." Which is just exactly how much money we had. He asked us like, "How much money you got?" We said 15,000. He's like, "I can hook you up for a house for that price." We're like, "Holy shit, we can save 50%, right? Or 60%." So we open a trade with this guy. Yo, we'll do it, right? He puts a book into the trade menu, and the book is called A House. He renamed the book A House. The title of the book was A House. And we're looking at it like, "Are you sure this is a house?" Like, "Yeah, man, this is what the houses look like before you put them on the ground." And being the retarded 11-year-old, 12-year-olds we were, we believed him, you know, because you can't lie on the internet, okay? Who does that?
No one lies on the internet.
So we're like, we just gave this guy all our money, and we got nothing.
Oh, wow.
And like I swear we cried. All right, we lost everything we had. And we couldn't fathom people lying on the internet. You know? And then from that day on, we became jaded.
Well, I mean, I'm sure people had similar experiences. Like in RuneScape, scamming was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
in a way, I think it made us better people. All right.
Well, I don't think it did.
Guys, I have the best scammer story, but I don't know if we have time for it. It's really good though.
You have to give us the bridge version.
Give us a bridge version.
All right, so pretty much like I got scammed by this guy. It was the classic like, I need this item. This guy's selling it. Like, buy it for me, and I'll trade you this item. Scam, right? So that guy scammed me, and then I was really pissed that he scammed me, right? So I looked him up. I fucking internet detective his ass, right?
Right.
I found all his alts. I befriended his main based off of that, from finding his alts. Mm-hmm. I befriended his main, and I waited for 2 months. I was his friend for 2 months, and then I fucked him over in the end. It was
a long
great. It was great.
Payback.
Oh my god. I was like, fuck you.
Social engineering.
So mad. He was so mad. I ripped him off for like $50 worth of shit, and I was like, "That's what you get." And he only ripped me off for like I think $3 or something. It was like $3 or $5 worth. I don't know if I want to say. It's an MMO though.
Oh.
All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I guess I could say is Mabinogi.
All right.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Mabinogi.
That's a good game. I play
It's a
that.
pretty solid game. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of scammers in that game, but I mean, you're not technically allowed to scam in it, right? But it was funny too because he was messaging me after. He was like, "You fucking stole my money, man! Like, what the fuck?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about, dude." He was so angry. He was so angry. Oh man. I even made a tweet. I made a tweet of it where like I made a tweet of like my character like rolling in dough pretty much. And I was like, fuck you. Oh, man.
All right. Sean, did you any good scam stories for us?
He played Eve. He must have one.
Yeah, he played it. That's like the scammer game.
No, I never really scammed anyone myself. I mainly remember Altay here going into the chat and begging for money and telling them people we were new. I mean, I guess I did that too, but I never really scammed myself. I got hacked once. Rose Online. Someone.
Whoa, hacked though. Hacked?
Yeah, I actually got hacked.
Real hacked?
Real hack. Someone IM'd me. And I was stupid. I had tried downloading hacks. That's how I got hacked.
That's everybody gets hacked.
He messages me and he's like, he's reading out all my personal information, and he's like, "You're an idiot. You downloaded this. You're lucky you don't have a PayPal account, or I would have taken all your money. Better have learned your." I guess he told me to learn my lesson, and I was like freaked out. I don't know.
Did he like do anything, or was he like?
No, he couldn't do anything. He just wanted to steal money from me, and then for some reason he felt motivated to message me
To teach you a lesson.
I guess. So he was like a Robin Hood, maybe. I don't know, but I'm sure if I had any banking information, I would have been robbed blind. I never would have said anything, but that's really my only story.
All right.
Nice.
Well, moving along back to some game news. A game called Supernova, which is a MOBA, a sci-fi themed MOBA, entered Alpha 7 apparently on July 1st.
The hell is Alpha 7?
I guess it's their 7th Alpha.
That sounds like a new space station TV show.
That's
like
actually
Babylon
right.
5.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine, Alpha 7.
New on Fox, Alpha 7.
That's a good name, Alpha 7. All right, but I want to talk about this game a little bit because first of all, a lot of companies are making MOBAs now. So this game is like gimmick. The game's difference is they claim they're returning back to the RTS roots because we don't all know, but MOBAs came from StarCraft 1's Aeon of Strife. That's like one of the games that started the genre. So it wants to return back to the roots, they say. So you know how in every MOBA, like a wave of minions or creeps spawn every like 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to make that the key part of the game, like the minions. So basically you earn money in game, and instead of buying items, you can build like, you can influence what minions spawn in every lane. So you can add like a mech in one lane or an airplane in another lane. So it's like that tug of war kind of mechanic from StarCraft 2, if you guys have played that.
It's like that game we played, remember? The
Yeah,
one where
it's
it
the
had
custom map
waves.
of StarCraft 2. So, but there's heroes too, but there's no items. So it's going with the HOTS progression with like units instead of like items. And I think it's a really cool approach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of these MOBAs have failed. Do you guys think this game has a chance? Based on the concept, because that's all I mean, there's some gameplay out there too, but you know, we won't know until it's released.
I don't know. MOBAs. It seems like it's saturated as the survival game market. So,
but all the survival games have huge player bases for some reason, and like only like a handful of MOBAs make money.
It's definitely entering a pretty tough scene. It better stand out.
This is by Bandai Namco.
No, they're publishing it. Yeah, they're the publisher.
They're publishing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I'm more enthusiastic for that gigantic game than this.
Primal Game Studio.
Gigantic looks cool, I agree, but at least this is trying something different. Like if you look at Sins of a Dark Age, it still felt so similar to other MOBAs with like it was like a reskinned another MOBA with a dynamic, you know, quest system instead and like objective system, but it was still the same core mechanics. Here, at least it's different. And who knows, it might make it, it might not.
I'm leaning towards no.
Well, me too, only because every other one failed, you know.
If it was like, you know, Blizzard with Here's a Storm, I'd say they have a chance, but I don't know who these guys are, you know, and they don't really have the IP that Blizzard's exploiting. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's rough. I mean, that is an interesting mechanic, but I mean, is that going to add enough depth of gameplay for people to be like, this is quite interesting? Is it going to add like an actiony aspect, right? It's like.
Yeah. There's some strategy elements, but it's hard to get people to switch. Is the problem.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult. It needs to be more than par with the game that you're competing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring up that chart with the player base for MOBAs.
Yeah, I'll link you guys real quick.
Yeah, I'll include that in the notes and I'll show it on the podcast. This is really interesting, I think.
I'll link you right now. It's total monthly active users base for top MOBA titles worldwide. So this includes Dota 2, Heroes of New Earth, Heroes of the Storm, League of Legends, and Smite. And you can see what's going on right there. And just for a point of reference, League of Legends on that chart has about 90 million monthly active users. And the next one is Dota 2, which has about 11 million.
Yeah, so this market is... I wouldn't even say MOBA is a market so much as MOBA equaled League with like Dota in the background, you know? Like, so I don't know why people are chasing this market.
Yeah, it's
like World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good idea. That's a good point.
That's actually the point I made in this article about is there room in the market for more MOBAs. I think League has established itself as the World of Warcraft, and every other game is just trying to chase it and throw money at it, but it doesn't stick.
Right.
Infinite Crisis shutting down already. It's shutting down after a couple months of service.
Yeah. Didn't like EA shut down
that
one?
had the IP.
That had the IP exactly. That had the everyone loves comic books. Like it's such a big market now.
According to the gameplay, I mean, I guess they did have design flaws, like we mentioned in the last pod.
We didn't do a video for that, but we should have. I mean, maybe before we close, we can still do a celebratory game shutting down video or something for it. Because I thought it was pretty fun.
I don't know. It just felt like League or Dota with like a sci-fi skin on it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this list though, right? You have every one on this list compared to other rehashed MOBAs that have come out all have their own like merit to them, right? Like League of Legends is like the blockbuster one, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Dota 2, which has like its roots embedded in like nostalgia and like the people that played before.
Yeah.
Right? So that's that thing, right? Smite is completely different because it's like,
third person
actiony, right? And Heroes of the Storm is also different because it's like the system.
It's super casual.
It's super casual, right? I mean, Heroes of the New are still there. You're still there? There you are. There you are. But Heroes of New Earth was also
was a Dota clone. That's why it did well.
Yeah. Exactly. Like when you're competing with this, I mean, where the hell are you gonna go, right?
It's tough. It's a very tough market.
You're gonna go somewhere in between the bottom two lines.
Like, how are you gonna fight Heroes of the Storm? How are you gonna fight Blizzard for casual?
Yeah, it's
How
tough.
are you gonna fight Dota for hardcore? And how are you gonna, inject yourself into like the middle ground of League of Legends, right? It's just impossible. Like I said, Smite's the only reason Smite's even there is because they have a different.
They came in early and they were different.
Yes.
That's why they succeeded.
So it's rough,
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be, and that's what I'm saying about that new game, right? Is the minion spawning thing, is that gonna be like big enough? Because there was a game that had that, wasn't there? Couldn't you do that in like the old Dota or something? You could like spawn hydras and shit.
Well, there was like a million different MOBAs on War 3, and basically Dota's the only one that survived. Like,
yeah. I think talking about it. There was a StarCraft 2 custom map called remember the Candy one? Do you remember that, Erhan?
That was a War 3 map, right? The Candy?
No, I thought it was a StarCraft. Was it StarCraft 2? Like it was a Blizzard made like Candy Halloween inspired Dota map. Remember? I think you can upgrade your minions in that.
I thought I know what you're talking about, but I thought that was in War 3.
It could have been War 3. Bad memory. I don't know. Yep.
But yeah, that game type has been around, so it's kind of like, where are you going with this? Is that compelling enough for me to stop playing League or to even entertain the thought of playing you? I mean, it's because it's always going to come back to that, right? Like, oh, why am I playing this? I could just play League, right?
Yeah, and plus all your friends are on League. It's hard to switch.
That is the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's like social network effect. Like everyone's on Facebook, everyone's on like these certain networks. It's hard to get people to go to a new one, I think, and that's why like, the bigger you get, the more mind share you have, the more stickiness you get.
That was the biggest deal of how League got so big, right? Is they came in early. They came in early and they did something different from like.
At the time, it was more casual and more accessible. So I think one of the reasons they did well early on.
It had really, really good design, like early on.
I see someone's tooting their own horn over there.
No, it was actually.
It's really good design, and I worked it. That's why it was so good.
It was Zilius, actually. Zilius is really smart.
He carried?
He carried pretty much. In my opinion, if there was like one guy that carried Riot, it was Zilius. He's really, really smart about his design, and like he specifically, he targeted like the audience that they needed to build the foundation to like build it up, right? Because if you think about like old League, I mean, it would be really rough to kind of see that competitively, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like now, it's like that's what they're pushing now because they need. So it's like a back and forth. It's like first they need the casuals, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the big casual foundation, right? And then you need the competitive players to give heroes for the casual people to look up to, and that brings in more casuals, right?
Yep.
And then the more casuals further like builds a bigger foundation to pay out the competitive players to grow that. So it's like a back and forth. You can't just focus on one, otherwise it's like nobody wants to play your shit, right?
You need to be interesting.
Yeah, it's a balance. You got to keep going back and forth. You got to build it up, otherwise it just topples over.
So when is the MMOs.com professional esports team? All right, guys, let's go right here. Us four.
Dude, where's our HOTS team? Let's play HOTS.
But you make $15 million playing Dota, or I make nothing playing HOTS. Let's win Dota World Championship.
That's true.
And get $1 million
The
each.
people who still win in Dota 2 even mostly are people who've been playing for like 10 years now. So there's no way we can catch up with them.
Isn't there that one like 11-year-old that's like amazing at it?
Not 11. He's like 15 or 16. Sumail. He's some Indian or Pakistani kid. He's like rocking the North American scene. But that doesn't mean he's gonna win.
He must have started playing Dota like recently then.
Oh yeah. But again, it's not about individual play. He's gonna lose to the Chinese teams.
Whoa! It's about individual play. All right, I'll carry it. I said, what? If we're all individually great, together we're even better, right?
Well, we're not that great, so that's a problem.
I don't know about you, but no, I suck too. I'm kidding.
I almost got 4,700 this week, but then I fell back down.
That's Team MMR, right?
Well, I only play team.
I don't count Team MMR. People, you can't brag about my team score.
So, that's what I'm talking about. It's a team game. See, you're too focused on your solo right there.
Well, who are you playing with? People that are carrying you, or are you?
No,
like...
I'm about the average.
I don't. I ain't buying
people higher than me. I play carry role, by the way.
Shoot, if somebody comes up to you in like League and is like, "Yo, I'm Masters tier," right? You look at their rating, they're Bronze in solo and Masters in in team. What does that mean to you?
What isn't there?
You got carried.
Isn't there a separate MMR for 5-man in League?
Yeah, there is. There's separate.
I only 5-man, so.
All right. Just I think solo is where it's at. You gotta be a solo pub star.
I mean, I must have played maybe like 5 or 8 solo games all year, so
yeah.
I don't think it's fair. If I played it, maybe
we may have. This is the Omer mentality. We may have lost, but look at my siege damage. Look at my EXP contribution.
I've noticed that.
Is that bolded?
Omer is not a team player, guys. Let me just throw that out there.
Whoa.
I mean, if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's he is not a team player.
I'm a team player in League.
You're not a team player.
I do my role, and I do it well.
Well, you specifically picked a role that has the least team impact. Like, you just go up and 1v1 for 10 minutes.
I play solo lane top all day.
Yeah, so I mean, it fits your style. I'm not saying you're bad at it. I'm just saying you're not a team player.
All right, enough MOBA talk. We got an interesting new free-to-play game this week. It's actually a free-to-play fighting game. It's there aren't that many fighting games that are free-to-play, but this one's called Rise of Incarnates. Sure, you've heard of this one?
I've heard something of it, but I actually don't know the details. Can you send me a?
Yeah, I think Team MMOs, guys. Maybe for Sunday Fun Day, we can do 2v2. It is a 2v2 MOBA, so not MOBA, 2v2 fighting game. So we could do maybe like me and Erhan versus Sean and Shu or something.
Oh, this is cool. When does it come out?
Let's go.
On July 1st.
Oh wow, it's new.
What's this game?
Yeah, actually, the gameplay is really fluid. It's interesting. It's a 2v2 fighting game, and it's the actual traditional arcade style fighting game. Because like as a free to play in the free to play market, you had Rumble Fighter, Get Amp 2, these like older cartoony looking games. This is like a traditional Japanese developed fighting game.
I just want to say this is an amazing 22-second trailer.
And it's utterly useless, isn't it?
I appreciate you sending that.
All right, let me give you a better one. That was pretty bad. I agree.
Oh, this is Bandai Namco. They made like all the Naruto fighters and stuff. So
all right, look at this.
It should be interesting.
This is start at 20 seconds. You can see some good gameplay. But people have already said this is like a reskin of Gundam Versus, which is another Japanese developed fighting game. But even so, just having a free to play traditional arcade fighting game is pretty new to the genre. And this is the reason why I've gotten spoiled. When I hear about a game and I see it on Steam and I have to pay money for it, I'm like, oh, it's almost like these games have trained a lot of people to demand free things.
Wow, I'm surprised this game's coming out. This is coming out in English. Like
It's already out.
or-
It's ready to go.
Holy crap! Let's do this.
Not only is
That's
it
sweet.
launched, Sean reviewed it.
Oh yeah.
Really?
What'd you give it, Sean? You still with us? Uh-oh. We might have lost him.
Oh, my mic's been on mute. I've been talking the whole time.
Oh, don't you love that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we've all had that before.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I gave it a grade.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's free to play.
Yeah.
There really isn't pay to win. It's more about cosmetic items and XP boosts. They give you a great thing they do is for the first 24 hours you play, you can play every single character.
Isn't it first 2 weeks, not 24 hours?
No, it's 24 hours.
Oh.
I know. I read that 2 weeks somewhere too, but
Because when I logged on, I'm pretty sure it said 2 weeks. I did a first look video for it.
When I did I know. I remember you said 2 weeks, but if you look at your character slot, it was I mean, when I reviewed it, I had only installed it the day before, and I had 6 hours left.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyway, they let you try all the characters, and then they lock them, and you have to buy them with experience. But you have enough to pick one, so you figure out which character you like, and buy it right away. And that's nice compared to MOBAs and stuff, where you have to kind of guess what character, what hero you want to purchase.
Well, you have the free-to-play rotation, but I like it better because you can try everything right away, you know?
Right. And then you play. I mean, the game. There's a lot of controls going on, a lot of things going on in combat. So there's a huge skill curve. Like people who are gonna dominate that game will wipe you across the floor without a problem.
But is that the traditional problem with like any fighting game? Like if we play Street Fighter, for example, like the guy who's better than me is gonna kick my ass regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this game, you look really cool doing it.
That's true. Yeah. Even in my video, I felt like a badass, even though I
The
sucked.
effects and everything else, and how fluid it is, make everything feel really epic. I kept thinking Power Stone as I played it, even though it's just because it's in a 3D environment.
Well, it's got the 2v2 gameplay, which like introduces more strategy too. You know how you cooperate with your team, how you do like combos together.
That's the thing about this game. We screwed up. We should have played together.
Yeah,
and done
this
a
would have been an
video
awesome
because
game
it's
to
all
do
about
yes.
it's all about targeting the same enemies together because you get tag team bonuses by attacking the same target, and then you just wreck them.
By the way, we're all playing this.
Yeah, so how about this? Sunday Funday, this game.
Okay, we're doing it.
And I think we should make it regular in this podcast to announce the Sunday Funday game for
Good idea.
Yeah, so that way it's a little more.
Good idea, yeah.
Well, Sunday Funday is going to be Rise of Incarnates. It's still a
You guys
relatively
can look
new
forward
game,
to that.
Only problem is that it doesn't record well on OBS, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, all right.
Figure it out.
I'll figure that out.
Easy.
If Fraps didn't work with it either.
Yeah,
maybe
tough.
we can get someone else to record next week though. My frame is my point of view is pretty boring. Apparently, people are complaining.
Because you were doing, I remember the GunZ video. I went back and watched your video. You didn't use like any abilities. You just kept using your rocket launcher, right?
Well,
Did you even melee?
No, but my class wasn't supposed to really.
I don't know. I feel like melee is a pretty big part of guns. I don't know about your class. I didn't play it.
All right.
But you still got you got a good view of like what we were doing and stuff too. So it wasn't that bad.
And I didn't do that bad. I don't think.
Oh, you did. You did really well. You did second best.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Well, I blame someone picking the same character as me, so I had to switch characters. That's what I blame.
That's true.
You know.
Wow, it's rough. Life's hard.
Having to switch characters,
But,
having your mic off by accident.
Well, actually, I unplugged my mic for a second a minute ago, so there's gonna be like 5 seconds of delay, or pause. But honestly, my style in a game, I don't think I'm bad. I'm not great at games, obviously, but like I think I'm okay, better than average in any game I pick up. What I've noticed though is I like to keep it simple. Like in Smash Brothers, melee, I'm better than average, right? I can't wave dash or anything, but I don't even use the B moves, like the projectiles and stuff. I just stick to the A moves, and that's my theory.
Kind of suck in that game anyway.
I guess, but they have a place. I just don't use them though.
You need them though.
Well, that's my thing though. Like in League or even Dota, which I'm playing for years, I just won't skill up all my moves because I'm not going to use them. Like I won't buy items I have to click on.
That's a good rule to live by because I don't like buying items. I hate click items.
Yeah. You have to keep things simple. A lot of people overcomplicate themselves, and they're not good. They just think they're good.
That's true. In a way, that's true too. You don't have to do all the advanced stuff to be good.
Yeah.
Sean, you going to say?
I was gonna say, just keep in mind the golden rule, kids. You think you're good, but you're really not.
The truth is you suck.
MMOs truth right here.
All right.
Hard truths that only we give you. If you think you're good at a game, you suck. You It's just that everyone, like in Smash Brothers, or like back in the console days before a lot of internet gaming took off, everyone thought they were hot shit because they beat their friends in like Smash
Everyone was
Brothers or
talking
Street
shit.
Fighter or this game. And then like when you meet these kids, they're like, "Yo, I'm so good. I've never lost. Like I kick everyone down. I guarantee I'll beat you, right?" And then you play Smash Brothers with them, right? And they pick Bowser, and you're just like, "Okay, bro, you're not good." You know, right away they're awful. Their friends is even more awful.
It's like the Smash Brothers documentary.
Yep.
When the competitive scene was just emerging.
Very
Did I
good
make that
documentary.
list? That's one of my favorite ones.
Mhm.
Watched that twice.
Oh, you're right. Well, I mean, I tried to stick to MMOs, but I guess I can just add that as a bonus.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's entertaining.
It is the best one. I think that's the best.
It's a
gaming-
massive multiplayer online game. You just gotta go around the country to play with everyone. The
Massive
server,
LAN
the server
multiplayer.
is the world.
You know, playing one-on-one in Smash Brothers, there's 2 people. And in the grand scheme of the universe, where there's no life outside Earth, you know,
It's massive.
Well, we don't know about that.
massive.
I'm not sold on that.
There's definitely a life.
All right, this
outside.
podcast is going to take a nice direction. Do you guys think there are aliens out there?
Yeah, but they're single-celled probably, or eukaryotes.
No,
So-
no.
Whoa, that's really self-centered human of you to
Wow.
believe that you're the biggest thing in the universe.
No. Dude.
I mean, at this point in time, right now, is there other civilization similar to humanity's? I doubt it.
Or more advanced.
You doubt
I
it?
mean, I doubt it. I don't know. I think humans are I think we're pretty self-centered to think that life would continue to evolve as we did elsewhere in the universe. I think there's too many variables to take into account. There's a good book. Solaris is a good book that talks
yeah?
about that.
Well, add it to
What
our-
about the
Stannis
Drake
Lowland.
equation? Does that say there's like guaranteed to be some life?
The Drake equation, no, there's life, but I don't think it's in the form of like
Advanced.
civilizations as we conceive them. It's
But-
probably something else.
Isn't the Drake equation looking for advanced civilizations?
Yeah, but I mean, it is based on. I wrote an article about that. Where is it?
Actually, there's something called like mutual evolution or something.
Mhm.
It's where even like animals on different continents that never interacted, they eventually evolve the same systems.
Mhm.
Like a spider web takes on the perfect shape, and even like a robot, when they're trained to keep running simulations until they get them the perfect shape, come up with like a spider web, right?
Right.
So maybe civilization can only look this way, if it gets
Maybe.
so.
Yeah.
Then it could be like a lot of different people that look like us.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, makes
Good
sense.
question.
It'd be like Star Trek. Everyone's humanoid.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
There's
Humanoid
some
is
slight differences.
It's just
You ever
humanoid is
see
the
that?
best form, you know?
There's a good episode of Star Trek where like the Romulans, the Klingons, and humans are all together, and they see like their old animal forms. And it's the monkey. It's like a gorilla. It's like a monkey, a duck, and something else. And they're like, oh, they all evolved from these animals, guys. You get it? They're just different animals. One's a dolphin. Like Romulans are dolphins.
Well, actually, isn't there an episode of Star Trek that kind of explains why they all look the same? Some super aliens like created them all from the same stock. I think there's one episode of Next
Super
Generation.
aliens? What, is they the same base
like
like
the
God
Q?
exists or something?
Not cute, but there was some weird like thing that they all shared like some biological base. It's some weird episode of Star Trek.
If you guys haven't realized, we're Star Trek nerds in here, okay?
Yeah.
We're mega nerds.
Mega nerds. How's it going, Lord?
we're alpha 7.
Alpha 7 mega nerds.
Alpha 7. You're such an Alpha 7, Omer.
At least I'm not a beta 3.
Whoa.
Damn, whoa.
Oh, that was low, man. Not cool.
That was uncalled for.
Speaking of beta, is anyone watching a new anime? I'm watching Blood Blockade Battlefront.
No, right, never heard of that one.
It's like basically
Oh, the
demons and people fighting in New York, basically.
okay.
How is
So
it?
I tried to watch
Eh.
that with my brother, and
Yeah.
oh my god, it was. I couldn't get into it. It was like, what the hell is happening in this shit? You
know
know?
what it reminds me of? Angel Beats, but for men, for boys. Kind of like they're just fighting for no reason in the city.
But oh yeah.
For
Right?
manly reasons.
Angel Beats, they're just fighting for no reason in some school.
I mean, we only watched like the first few episodes of that.
Yeah.
Of Angel Beats.
Yeah.
Angel Beats is really good.
The art style's really good. I'll give it that. The art style's awesome. Like,
It's
I don't know. It's kind of random to me. What you got? Anyway, anyone else watching anything?
this season.
Well, Knights of Sidonia just season 2 just came on Netflix, so Aaron and I are gonna watch that for sure.
Yeah, I really like
nice.
Knights of Sidonia.
I like the guy that created it. I just never saw it.
Sean, you might like it. That might be up your alley.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you like
actually
sci-fi
read it.
stuff. Oh, you read it? Oh.
I did, so I already know I like it. I just never watched it.
It's got
So
good production value.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
Red
We'll
Dragon.
check it out.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's easy to access.
Red Dragon.
Did I tell you about that one, Omer? Red Dragon. It's based on a tabletop game. It's like a bunch of like the guy who made Madoka and the guy who made Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. They all played a tabletop game together.
Wow.
And they recorded what happened, and then they made an anime out of it.
Good inspiration.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's called Red Dragon. I think it has a different name though for the anime.
Is it new?
Isn't that a
Yeah,
novel?
it's not the season. Yeah, it is. It's based on it's a novel. So they took the setting, they made a novel out of it, and then the novel became an anime.
Huh.
Interesting.
A lot of transitioning going on there.
What is it called? It's called
Had to
Chaos.
evolve.
Chaos Dragon. It's called Red Dragon. And
Chaos Dragon just sounds oddly generic.
Isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
It might be. It sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It's funny. I just googled it. That does look like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
No,
the
it's called
Chaos
Chaos
Dragon.
Emperor
No,
Dragon.
it's called Red Eyes Chaos Dragon.
No, there's also just Chaos Dragon straight up.
Nice.
You were correct.
Oh, anyone here play Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day? Well, actually, we're kind of getting over limit here. I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, Chaos Dragon's got 4,500 attacks, a lot of attack. But he's got a shit ton of stars, so you got to tribute like at least 2 for this guy.
I used to be a ref in Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments at a comic book shop. That's my least proud nerd moment.
Wow.
Like if I was a Magic the Gathering judge, I would feel good about it. But Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh, it's
kind of crazy. It's kind of cringy. Yeah, too low class for me.
Did you see people cheat in that tournament?
Yeah, people always cheat in tournaments. It's sad.
Yeah, cheating in Yu-Gi-Oh. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, there's money on the line, so I guess it makes some sense.
Like people with having all the Exodia pieces, like they rigged the deck so they draw all 5 in the first turn to feel like such a badass because like they just put all 5 on top after they're done shuffling.
This one kid who would not stop drawing cards when he was losing, like just when it wasn't his turn, just randomly drawing cards. Like I'm like, all right, you lose, you just lost, like the game's over. Like what are you doing? You can't just draw cards. For no
That's a
reason.
good strategy. I like that. You know why? Because you already lost the game, right? What's the worst that can happen? They might not know you. You might as well keep trying. The man's going for optimal play.
I mean, and this kid was like it was like a 17-year-old playing against a 12-year-old, and he was losing, and he just kept drawing cards. Like, I was dumbfounded. All right, well, we're at 7 minutes over the hour. So, any last words?
Any last words? We're done.
Whoa.
You're all dead
I
after
have
this.
no regrets.
Aaron pulled out a shotgun. He's going to take us out back and kill us.
Well, all right, I got one thing then. MapleStory is released in South Korea. MapleStory 2. Not open beta, not closed beta, not pre-release, not early access.
Not alpha, no founders packs.
No founder. MapleStory 2 released in South Korea.
It's already a great
777,
game.
yeah.
Just for that.
Nice.
So hopefully it'll come out here sooner rather than later, but we'll have to wait and see.
Hopefully they don't pull a Blade and Soul on us.
No, I hope not too.
Oh my god.
They'll wake up from a coma one day and finally release the game.
That was
Alright.
literally the worst.
All right, well, that was a good podcast.
All right, well, I'll see what then. That's it. We'll see you guys on Sunday.
Sunday fun.
Monday.
Yeah, Rise of the Incarnates fighting game.
I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, take care, guys. Bye.
Later, guys.
See ya, Alpha 7s.